What's up, Blasianeers and Blasianettes? So I'm just gonna talk about this latest episode of The Walking Dead. If you have not seen it, now'll be your time to leave and go get caught up because I'm gonna dive into some spoilers. So there you go, that's your warning. So this episode definitely made up for how underwhelming the previous episode was. Even though that did have some positives, in my opinion, but this was a much more rewarding episode. Not to mention that some comic book elements from this part of the story, like when Carl does, sneak his way to the sanctuary, and him and Negan are having a little heart to heart. I mean, I loved how true they stayed to that. Well, they stayed I'd say 80 to 85% true to that in the comic, and then they made it a little bit deeper, where they throw Judith into the mix at the end of the episode. So when Rick does come back from his run, he will just be more. Oh man, it's gonna get under his skin even more. Just him coming back to Alexandria and seeing Negan on the porch holding Judith with Carl sitting next to him with his bandage off and everything, and it's just. Oh, that would be one hell of a way to get under his skin. I mean, why not throw Judith into the mix there? I called it before the season started. That, what if Negan does see Judith and he's just holding her, he's just playing with her. He's not being intimidating to her. He's just, holding her and being, just being good to her. At that moment, which makes him even much less predictable. Because you don't know what's going on in this dude's head, what's he gonna do, what is going on. And I know a lot of you who do not read the comics were like, oh my god, is he gonna kill Carl? Is he gonna give him the iron? What's he gonna do? But, no. He's just he's basically doing what he did to Rick in the season premiere, where he's just taking him on these emotional roller coasters and just trying to just get under his skin. And he definitely did that when he told him, yeah, take the bandage off. And then he's talking about how he can see the socket and just saying all this stuff to him. And it's just getting under his skin quickly. Damn. I think it's at that moment Carl realized who he was dealing with. I don't think he got the memo when he told Rick to cut off his arm in the season premiere. I don't think he got the memo all the way up until this episode. Where he's like, why hasn't he killed me? When he could have just killed me right then and there. I took out two of his men. They're like, why hasn't he killed me already? And at the same time, and I guess it's that's where their weird bond begins. You know what I mean? Where Carl is having some conflict with that, and Negan's having fun with it. You know what I mean? I could kill them, but I'm just having too much fun with this. And also and seeing Daryl, briefly, just trying to stand up to Negan, in defense for Carl, shows that Rick's group, you can break them, but they'll just get right back on their asses. They've been through too much to just be broken like that. And you see that with Rick too, where he has that thirst for Negan's blood, where he just wants to bash his head in with Lucille, and he's not. There's conflict going on in there, and with I guess Daryl too, but at the same time Daryl doesn't want to, it's not in his nature to stand idly by and let someone else that he cares about get hurt. But the last time he stood up for someone, he stood up against Negan in defense of someone else. That didn't turn out so good. So good thing he didn't step over the line to that extent again. You know what I mean? And Spencer. Oh my gosh, they're just. For a while I liked Spencer. It seems like they're trying, and it's like you're pushing him to that point where we're rooting for his potential death in the mid-season finale, and that's what it's building up to. When he's throwing the bitch fit with Gabriel about I hate Rick, and then he seems to blame Rick for his family's death, for his brother's death, his dad's death, and his mother's death. It's funny because You know, like right before Deanna's death, you blamed her for your brother and your father's death. And I guess it's just easier to blame somebody else, isn't it? I mean, like for Aiden's death, that was Aiden, and for okay, for Reg's death, that was Pete. Some of you may say it's Deanna for not listening to Rick the first time, but I think that's Pete. And Deanna, well, that's the Walkers. I know that all happened after Rick showed up, but still, you can't throw that all on him. Just like you couldn't throw all that on Deanna, like, or she did not need to hear that. But damn. And it's funny how the tables turn now, where Gabriel is the one standing up for Rick now. You know, and and 2 seasons ago, he was saying to Deanna, like, they don't deserve paradise. They can't be here. They're dangerous. And now he's telling, now he's calling Spencer like a tremendous shit for even thinking that, for thinking the way he is, and oh man, and some members of Rick's group are not thinking straight. Like Michonne's not thinking straight, and especially Rosita, she is not thinking straight. You know, make one bullet against all those saviors and Negan. Or are you just gonna take out Negan and just, and then like, okay, what do you think the saviors are gonna do? And Michonne, I mean, like, I get where she's going with this, but I mean, they have the numbers. Rick told you that, like, what, more than once, that they have the numbers. What are you gonna do? Oh my gosh! I mean, like, this is like an emotional roller coaster, like, where everyone is in potential danger in this episode. By the end of it, remember when you see Jesus on top of the truck, and you're like, okay, where'd he go? I mean, he snuck off somewhere. And who gave Daryl the key? Like, could it have been Dwight? You know, like from, I mean, if you read the comics, it could be Dwight. It could have been Sherry. It could have been Jesus. No, maybe Jesus knocked out Fat Joe, and then he just took the key. You never know. And how about when Negan took, you know, when told Carl, like, okay, it's time for you, to witness the iron, and then some of you were probably like, Carl's gonna get the iron. Oh no, don't give him the iron. I thought to myself, oh yeah, earlier on when he talked to one of his wives, Amber, I'm like, oh yeah, she kind of, slept with someone else without Negan's permission. Oh. And she slept with her former lover, or current lover / former lover, Mark. I'm like, okay, so he's gonna make Carl watch him get Mark get iron, and that's what he did. I mean, like, I think that's because I read the comics, and I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna iron Carl. I mean, you're gonna make people think who are oblivious to the comics that he's gonna do that, but nope, he didn't do that. So. But I do like how the episode ended, where he said, you know what, I thought about what you said, maybe it is stupid to keep you and your dad alive. Maybe I should just bury both of you underneath the garden or whatever, or something. And so yeah, that's a good way to keep you people thinking that he's probably is going to consider killing him and Rick off in the mid-season finale. Maybe, or maybe he, oh man. The way Negan's been mind-fucking, the group lately, I mean, this is him doing it on a whole nother level. Like holding Judith, like on the porch when Rick gets back and he sees that's gonna piss him off. That's gonna get way under his skin. To the point where, I mean, like, if you read the comics, I think he is gonna go crazy. And oh man, this was a really great episode. I enjoyed it, and it's just funny how, like, and when Olivia's there and she slaps him for apologizing for being rude to her and saying, you know what, if you're up for it, we can just have sex right now, and then he just bitch slaps him, and then you're thinking, okay, the last person who hit him, the last time Negan got hit, it didn't turn out so well, but he just said, you know what, I am 50% more into you now. That's, I mean, oh my gosh. And him kicking off his boots and playing darts right before he sees Judith. Like, my gosh. I mean, like, they're fucking with us. Like, we know you're supposed to hate this guy, but come on. You mean, you can't deny that you love him too. I love him and I love to hate him. I mean, it gets ridiculous. And, so yeah, this gets 4 solid chair spans out of 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4 solid chair spans. So, yeah, and also, I can't figure out what else I was gonna say. Damn it! And Gabriel did take off, where he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of here. I can't sit in the car with this dude any longer." Wasn't that what he did? Because he didn't go back with Spencer when he got back to Alexandria. So, and I know it looks like Spencer may try something against the Saviors. Like, yeah, that's what Rick wants us to do, right? That's what I'm gonna do. And I got something better. I got a better idea, or some shit like that. He's gonna try to. Oh no, he's gonna get himself killed. I'm calling it. You'll see. And it looks like Richard, and like on the Kingdom's part, it looks like Richard is gonna try something, without Ezekiel knowing. He's gonna get himself killed, and Morgan's probably not gonna go along with it. And Morgan can't get to him in time. And I mean, that's what I'm thinking. But I do know what the future holds for Richard in regards to the comics. And I'm just going to leave it as that. So this was a great episode. It was definitely worth 90 minutes. Definitely in regards to the song, in regards to Negan and Carl bond, like the birth of Negan and Carl's bond, you know what I mean? So with that all being said, it's almost like a teacher and his favorite student. That's the kind of relationship they seem to have there. And so man, this was a great episode. I can talk about this forever. But I may do a reaction for the mid-season finale. I think that's gonna be too big for just not to do. So so keep on the watch out for that. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this review, make sure you thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe. If you're new to the channel, feel free to share your thoughts on what's going to happen in the mid-season finale. And what do you think the future holds for some certain characters who are just in the line of fire right now. Almost everybody is in this episode. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.